Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolors. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to my channel How to Paint Watercolors with me, Colin. And I've chosen a little farm scene with this one today in the Yorkshire Dales, and I've just stretched my paper, which means I've just wet it both sides, give it a couple of minutes to allow it to stretch, and then I am just removing any excess water off, just to leave a very thin film of water on the paper. And while we're here, I'm just going to take where the stone wall is, keep it dry, and where the house is. I'm going to keep that dry as well. Just like to say a very nice thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Go use a mop brush today. Straight in, some maple jello, bottom of the sky, along the hills, keeping the colour pale. Into that now some nickel yellow, very pale also. Just getting some colour on the paper really, but this will be exceptionally pale. Just a little down here. Then into the middle part, which is aureolin. I'm going to make this just a little bright spot here. It's a little close to the house. And whilst this is all beautifully wet, this is a mixture of cobalt blue and burnt sienna, and it's mixed to the grey side. I'm going to flood the whole top area of this, just gently lay it in. And I think I might just revert back to my mop brush. Pulling the sky downwards towards the farm, like pointing at it. This will help focus the eye. Don't mess with it too much as you have yellow on the page. Just a little stronger version, just to help deepen it. I think we'll just run just a little bit of it into the land. Just strengthen up any areas that you feel it needs. Where you see it, it's your call. And I'm putting a cloud on this side for the simple reason is the painting is weighted on the left hand side, so we put something in the sky to even it out. So now we're going to leave this to dry. Okay, now your paper is dry, and when I say dry I mean it's still damp, so that the paper is still stretched and it hasn't shrunk. And then I've clipped it all the way around, and this will prevent it from cockling when it dries. So I'm just going to re-wet this background hill with some clean water, and then into that I'm just going to drop some aureolin. I'm just going to allow this to drift down, taking off any excess water. Like I said, the board is at a very gentle angle. And then into that, a medium strength mix of cobalt blue and burnt sienna. And I'm just going to tap it in along the ridge line. And I don't mind it turning green. I'm just softening off this bottom edge, but I still want to keep it drifting, so I'm allowing the bottom part of the hill to still be damp, very, very damp. So we come to the next hill here, and we're just going to re-wet this one, ensuring we go around the house. Aureolin once again, make that a little stronger. Then once again with the cobalt blue and burnt sienna, just tap it along the ridge line. We still want it reasonably pale because you want the trees to show up that we're going to put in it. A little stronger here, just helps to break it up from one flat wash. just pull it down in the direction, just catch the bottom and pull it down in the direction you want the hill to fall, the fall of land, and just give it a little bit of help. And whilst it's still wet, and if you haven't run into the other hill, this hill with your other colour, you should be able to get away with this. Aureoling once again. Just a stronger mixture of the cobalt blue and burnt sienna. Softening off the bottoms. This is a couple of mixes of green made from the cobalt blue, burnt sienna and the aureoling, and I want to drop this in as well as we're just starting to come forward. Brush this back. And now we have to leave this to dry. Once your background hills are really dry, these need to be dry now, they don't need to be damp or anything. We're just going to take some of the grey blue that we made and we're going to run and separate these hills with a dry stone wall, but there's no detail in this. Cobalt blue and burnt sienna. Just a couple of flicks. Maybe one along here. Just going to take some very watery light red. And I'm just going to give this house a wash of this colour all the way down to the dry stone wall. Light red and French ultramarine. And I'm just dropping this in. This is an even stronger version. Softening the edges in, just very gently moving it slightly. Just adds variation. I think I'll have it reasonably dark against the wall to make these white capstones stand out. And then for a bit of real interest, just a touch of permanent rose, just to liven it up. French ultramarine and light red, making it really watery. Just the front will be catching the light. Maybe just a bit stronger than that. Just want to put a little on the front of these, well, this house and shed. And then with the stronger version, just see how this goes. Just drop that under the eave, just to create some shadow. Softening off the edge with a damp brush. Now we need to leave this to dry. Now that your house is dry, I'm sorry, I've got tickling. Excuse me. Take some of your sky colour, cobalt blue and burnt sienna. And then into that, I just want to drop some green, as if when the leaves have fallen from the trees, moss is growing on the roof. And like I always say, it's always nice to get a little bit of red into your landscape paintings if you can sneak it in. This is cadmium red. Darker at the top of the door, and just allow the red to drift down. So take a damp brush and soften that off so it disappears into nothing. Put some window panes in, French ultramarine and burnt umber. It's just an indication, that's all. This is the light red and French ultramarine. I'm just bringing some bushes in. French ultramarine and burnt umber. You can turn your board round for this, I sometimes do. While we're here, I think we'll put some fence posts in. Don't make them all the same size, and make a few of them crooked. Maybe they're running off into the distance. Cobalt blue, once again, cobalt blue, burnt sienna and aureolin, and I'm just going to put this bush in here, and I'm just going to pat it in really. It's just an incidental. Moving into your darker green, and also into that, the darker mixture of the light red and French ultramarine, just for some nice dark. Don't play with it too much. There's always a danger of that with the light red French ultramarine. Moving into the French ultramarine and burnt umber. And I'm just going to turn the board around while I paint the tops in. Okay, let me have a look at that. Just allowing these to dry slightly, and I'm just going to put in some brickwork, broken lines for this. Just a little shadow here. Soften that edge in, and on the front some of the grey mixture from the sky, because I don't want this to be too, because there's too much detail in this. As the light striking the front, it wouldn't be as dark as the other pieces, so I don't want to put too many in. Maybe the odd roof tile, just a little bit wet that. We'll have to leave that for now. So what we can do, break the brush open. This is your mop brush, break it open. Some of your sky mixture, don't put green on it, it's too much. And just gently, very gently, put some foliage on. I don't want to do any more to that, I think that looks great. And now before we do the wall, we shall be leaving this to dry. Once again, just coming back to the roofs of these, now it's dry. And I'm just going to add some the odd roof tile in, not very much, very little detail. Some shadow here on the windows, door frame. Moving on to the wall, some clean water, and I just dropping patches of water in. Then into that some of the sky colour, cobalt blue and burnt sienna. Just leaving this area white where the house is. We'll give it just a little bit more impact. Soften completely off the bottom all the way down. This will allow the paint to still drift. Some of the light red and French ultramarine. Some of the darker one. And because it's a wall, it will have a little bit of moss on it somewhere, so I'm going to take some of the brighter green and dull it down with some of the French ultramarine and light red. And I'm just going to drop some mossy areas in, little hints. Just soften off one or two areas. Just screwing up a piece of kitchen towel. paint out. Now we need this to dry. Now that your wall's dry, I'm just going to take a round detail brush. You can use a rigger brush if you wish to, French ultramarine and burnt umber, and I just want to put in the capping stones, and I'm leaving the white that's next to the dark in the house, including where the bush is, just to allow this to stand out. The odd brick, well, the odd stone. And as we move further away from the focal point, I'm going to switch to the sky colour of grey, cobalt blue and burnt sienna. I need to be just a little darker than that, I should say a little stronger. Test it up here. Okay, that looks okay. Bits of shadow under here. Be very mindful that you don't have to put masses and masses of detail in, just softening these lines. Taking a large mop brush and re-wetting the bottom third of the page. Just want to strengthen the aureolin up here. Soften that into the wall. Taking some of the lighter green colour, cobalt blue, burnt sienna and aureolin. Forgive my arm. Just taking that into the wall there. Moving on to a darker mix. I think we'll just grey that out a little. A little darker into this corner. I don't want this yellow to disappear, and we're just going to leave this wash to dry. Now that that's dry, what we're actually going to do now is just glaze over the foreground a little bit, just to darken it and deepen it, just to focus your eye more towards the farm. So this is a mixture cobalt blue and burnt sienna. Taking a broad brush, you can do this with a round brush or a flat brush, any brush of your choice. Taking a brush with some clean water, soften off the edge. And now we have to leave this to dry, and when we come back we should be able to finish the whole thing off. With a stronger version of the cobalt blue and burnt sienna, and I've just added a tiny bit of aureolin to it, and it just has a very mild slight green cast. And we're just going to flick up one or two grasses. Don't have them all going the same way, all different lengths. Soften that in. And at the end of the video I will leave a couple of suggestions if you want to have a look at some more, and I will leave a link in the description box to anybody else who wants to view the full list of videos I've made for YouTube. I think there's about nearly 150 watercolours now. Maybe you'll find something in there that takes your eye. And I think that's just enough interest in the foreground. Now you get around to the best bit. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have and you're new to this channel, please subscribe. All subscribers are welcome, and as I've said before, it doesn't cost you anything. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching. So thank you very much.